The road is County Route 29 in Colorado. The song is Led Zeppelin's Stairway to Heaven.
Is there a bustle in your hedgerow? Don't be alarmed now.
Temple Grandin would be the first to tell you she's an odd duck. But of course she loves ducks and dogs and horses.
This is what these horses really like.
And of course cows. Maybe especially the cows.
Well, cattle are curiously afraid. Notice how they would like jump back a little bit and then they come up closer. Jump back a little bit, then come up closer. It's two competing motivations. Now that's the curiosity.
If Temple sounds as if she knows what these animals are thinking, there's a good chance she does. Not because she holds a PhD in animal science, not because she's the darling of both animal rights activists and the meatpacking industry. The reason Temple Grandin might have an inside track on how animals see the world is because she's autistic.
Temple Grandin is a remarkable individual that's made a difference in the world.
Dr. Michael Merzenich is a neuroscientist who has studied Temple.
She's made a difference in the world because of special ability. And yet at the same time, she is undeniably, unequivocally autistic.
Temple believes people with autism and animals perceive the world similarly. And in a moment, we'll explain how. But for now, consider this. Her insights have not only improved the lives of thousands of autistic children, but have transformed the care, feeding, and handling of millions of animals, from the foothills of Colorado to the Canadian plains.
Well, I don't like seeing people abuse cattle. Cattle feel fear, cattle feel pain. We owe animals a decent life. Walk back, keep walking back.
Today, more than half the cattle in the U.S. and Canada are processed through cattle handling systems designed by Temple Grandin.
So, I take it from looking on this side like this.
By literally taking a cow's eye view of a feedlot, Temple recorded what it might be like for an animal to move through these facilities.
Yeah, I'm trying to be the cow.
She saw, for instance, that the cattle, just like some people with autism, were fixating on sensory details. A coat hung on a fence, a man walking in front of a chute, a scrap of paper.
They'd even spook at something like that.
So she redesigned the old square pens into long, curved metal chutes, eliminating sharp edges and distractions while taking advantage of cattle's natural instinct to walk in circles.
Well, the reason for making it curved is because as the cattle come on around the bend, they think they're going back to where they came from.
In her current bestseller, Animals in Translation, Temple argues that both people with autism and animals are hypersensitive, skittish in a sense, to the tiniest changes in their environments. That's because they perceive the world not through words or written language, but through their senses, sounds, smells, touch, and of course, sight.
Basically, my mind works like Google for images. If you put in a keyword, it pulls up pictures.
In the animal world, one of Temple's favorite examples of a visual thinker is the squirrel.
He'll bury his nuts in a whole lot of different places. How does he remember that? After the nut has been buried, the squirrel rears up and takes a picture of what the surrounds look like.
I've seen them get up like that.
And then they store all these pictures. This is the same way I found my car at the Denver airport.
She's not kidding. Temple showed us exactly how she'd keep track of her car in the airport's vast parking lot. After pulling into a spot, she'd get out, squirrel away a few visual snapshots of nearby landmarks.
And then I can go back out in that lot and find my car.
Find your nut.
That's right.
Temple's insights and easy way with animals stand in stark contrast to her relations with another member of the animal kingdom, humans.
What are you still having difficulty with?
Singles bar scene. I'm not going to be caught. You won't catch me dead in singles bar scene. That is so socially complicated. I just don't do that.
All of which brings us back to her furry friends. And how Temple has single-handedly improved the lives of livestock.
Just don't make all the animals go clumping through this backstop.
Her animal welfare guidelines have become the gold standard in the $80 billion meatpacking industry. Electric prods have been replaced with plastic paddles. Workers are trained not to shout at the cattle. And plants are regularly audited to determine how well they're reducing animal stress. Of course, in the end, most of these animals will be killed for food. A contradiction not lost on Temple.
We should be caring about the cattle and their last moments, but we also need to be making sure that through the whole life of the animal, it has a good life.
A few years ago, Temple and her co-workers dubbed the ramp on which the cattle make their final journey towards slaughter the Stairway to Heaven. In honor of the animals, you can always find a copy of Led Zeppelin's song waiting to be played in Temple's car as she heads down the road to the next ranch.
She's buying a stairway to heaven. Okay, I had to do that. I knew that was fine.
That's good.